Okay, now start our second part, that is work definition and assignment process. So what is this? In addition to defining an organizational structure for a project, it is important to follow a work definition and assignment. What is the main purpose of the work definition and assignment? Actually, the work definition and assignment process is carried out during the proposal and startup phase of a project, in the initial stage of the project. And what it includes? It has 4 steps: requirements and finalization, how work will be done, break down the work, and assign the work. Requirements and finalization will include finalize project scope, baseline, and finalize the technical baselines. So all the mostly baselines are discussed in the requirement finalization. How work will be done? After baseline is connected, you can see they are interconnected. See, once they get the, let me mark it here. Okay, once they get the contract, they will finalize the requirements. What are the requirements? So they will finalize the baselines, and from the baselines they will move to the how work will be done. In this they will see program or team approach, technical approaches. Approaches mean that to whom they will contact, which type of technical support they need. So this type of approaches. Next they will move to the break down the work. How will be done? Making parts of the work, that is called work breakdown structure. This we did in our previous lectures. So after they divide the work, they will go to the assigning the work. First they break down the work. Okay, we will do this project in these parts. First part we will do this, second this thing. Okay, first part we will do this, but who will do this? That will be assigning the work, and that is OBS, organization breakdown structure. So in these 4 steps they will define, the work is defined, or an assignment process is defined in any project. And for the theory and detail, you will go to the page number 361 in our chapter 9. There is a lot of theory there, so read that theory for more understanding and for your objectives and short questions. Okay, now move to the responsibility assignment matrix. Okay, what is this? If we go backward, once this is done, organization breakdown structure or responsibilities are given. After this, or after developing an OBS, the project manager can develop a responsibility assignment matrix. This is also called RAM. RAM allocates work to responsible and performing organization, teams or individuals. In this chart there will be activities here. These are the activities and these are our OBS. So in these 2 things are defined, R and P. What is R? Responsible organization unit. Who is responsible for that? P, performing organization unit. Who is performing? So you may be in confusing that responsible and performing, it's same thing. It's not the same thing. I give you an example. Okay, in university, for example, we are having IT class, this IT project management. Okay, so who is responsible for IT? Obviously the director of IT department is responsible, or the coordinator program coordinator, he will be responsible. And who is performing? I am performing because I am giving lecture for this course. So this is difference between responsible and performing organization. So in this they divide the units: system engineering, software development, hardware development, testing engineering, quality assurance, configuration management, integrated logistics support, and training. These types of. Now who are responsible, where they are responsible, and where they are performing organization. So this 1.1.1, 1.1.2, these are the activities they done. What is WBS? Here it is written again, work breakdown structure. WBS means they break the work or a project terms in different parts. These are the parts: first part, second part, third part. So according to this project, in first part, system engineering will be responsible, but who will be performing? The test engineers will be performing. Okay, in the second part, when the testing will finish, then the second phase of the project will come. In this phase, responsible and performing both will be done by system engineering department. In third part, system engineering department will not do anything, but the software development will do responsible organization and performing organization all. So same with the other things. So from this it is clear that what is responsible and what is performing and what is the need of responsibility assignment matrix. So RAM allocates work to responsible and performing organizations, teams, or the individuals. If you want to, you have to read the theory from page number 362, chapter 9, responsibility assignment matrices, that are 9.4b. You have to read all this theory. Next thing is, what is this RACI chart? Actually, RACI, that is, R means responsibility, A stands for accountability, C stands for consultation, and I stand for informed. In addition to using a RAM is this, responsibility assignment matrices. In addition to using a RAM to assign detailed work activities, you can use it to define, it means RACI, it to define journal roles and responsibilities on project. This type of RAM can include the stakeholders in the project. Some organizations use RACI charts to show 4 keys roles for project stakeholders. Okay, what was RAM? In RAM, they told who is responsible and who is performing, only this thing. You can say in a short they did this. But what if an organization wants to, because these are only the organization departments, system engineering, software development, hardware development, but what if the organization want to involve their stakeholders? If organization want to add stakeholders in the assignment chart, then that chart is called RACI chart, responsibility, accountability, consultation, and informed chart. How? They will divide the people in different groups, group A, B, C, D, and E, and they will divide the responsibility into wider areas. Here they define system engineering, software engineering, but here they said test plans. In test plans, group A, in group A there will be a lot of stakeholders, and that every company will, like for example, they will say in group A we have 5 companies which are working with this. In group B there are another 3 companies. In group C there are 7 companies. All these companies are like, group A is a construction company they put together, group B is the electrical companies they put together, group 3 C are the programmers, so they put together. So they make groups of their stakeholders and all the departments. So now they said that in test plans what group A will do. In test plans group A will be main responsible. They will have the responsibility of that work or that part of the project. What group B will do? Group B will do the accountability. Okay, you can see in all these, whenever some tasks are defined here in this row, R can be more than one, because not only one, there can be 2 groups responsible. But C can be more than one, because consultation can be done by more than one. But what about A, accountability? In all the tasks or in all types of activities, accountability will be only one, not more than one. Because if it's common sense, if it will be more than one, then there will be issues. So group 2 will be accountability. What group C will do? Group C will do the consultation. Group D will also do the same, and group E will be for the information. Same with the unit test, with the integration test, with the system test, and with the user acceptance test. So the main difference between responsibility assigned matrix and the RACI chart is that responsibility assignment matrix are for allocates the responsible and performing organizations and teams together. But if you want to make it more wider and you want to make not wider, you want to include your stakeholders, then you will do the RACI chart in this. And in RACI charts you will make different type of groups, and in those groups you will divide those into RACI responsibility, accountability, consultations, and informed. And the one thing that you have to remember is that in any activity all can be repeated. Responsibility can be repeated, consultation can be repeated, information can be repeated, but the thing that accountability cannot be repeated. Why? Because there should be only one body or one group that will do the accountability of that part of the project or that part of the activity. So now if you also have to read this from page 363, there is all theory there, and it is the same part of 9.4b. So now let's move forward with the staffing management plans, and I think this video will be quite longer. This we will do in our, I think, third part. So let's end this one here.